All right, and we back with another episode of Hey, I'm Just Asking. And today we want to talk about Chicago versus Aunt Glizzy. Now, I was roaming the YouTube streets and I saw that it's a beef brewing between Chicago and Aunt Glizzy. And all I could say to that was, why? Ow. Now, I remember the Glizzy gang having static with Chief Keef back in the day, but it kind of went away after Chief Keef's tour bus was shot up. From my knowledge, I don't think Sosa has been back here since, but there's also a story about before the tour bus incident where the Chicago Savages started a shootout at the Stadium Gentlemen's Club in Northeast DC. So there's definitely a history of friction between Chicago and DC. But luckily, in both of these situations, nobody was killed. So it's 0-0 with no casualties. End of story. Who cares, right? This is the drill trap house era. And I guess I gotta start a blogger edition. They trollers and wellers. Disrespectful at its lowest. If it get clicks and views, they chasing it on some social media clout antics. Welling, that's a term we use in DC for the habitual liars who talk too much. It's similar to y'all term cap. So how did this situation become a so-called beef again? Let's take a trip to Chicago, Chirac, the Windy City. I rock with Chicago heavy, but that's another blog. Bandman Kevo and Ant had words about Bandman Kevo's, what would you call that? A tummy tuck operation? Nah, Bama went and bought muscles. Man, Ant DC funny. So, Bandman Kevo manager Big Folks decided to step up to the YouTube streets front line and defend his partner's honor. I was surprised by this because Big Folks is the oldest guy out of them all, arguing with youngins when he should be de-escalating the situation. This is why the young ones hesitate to listen to the elder generation now. Then this guy talks about Chicago coming to DC shutting shit down. Like they didn't injure innocent bystanders who had nothing to do with that shooting. It was also something in which he wasn't there for. Is that dry snitching? Come on, OG. You called that man's mother retarded. How else is he supposed to respond? FYBJ man is my favorite. Cause it hit different when you do your homework. When he went back to Chicago, they shot at him. Why they try to whop your whoop? I thought King Yellow was the DJ from NWA until I did my homework. He's FBG Duck's homie from back in that drill rap movement. He tried to start a peace treaty with a video that ended abruptly. Man, you hear the shots being fired in the background. King Yella got hit, then left Chicago for good. Smart man. Why die for peace in your city when your city is at war? All of your friends are falling to violence. So for you crying on camera was heartfelt. But you didn't learn your lesson though. Still tweaking. Why did the Mexicans shoot at you with your kids in the car? Who does that? The Mexicans don't usually violate unless you're out of bounds or you said something you shouldn't have said or did. Cut it out. You will lose on the West Coast playing with La Raza. You have more serious things to worry about than talking about DC being gay in the feds. When your own homie, Lil J, is in jail for doing the same thing. You even admitted that he tried to kiss you. Why would he even play with you like that though? Is the real question. Hey, Aunt Glizzy, let me holler at you for a second, Washingtonian. When did we start dissing the dead? That's a Chicago thing. Man, leave FBG Duck out of that. I see you shining, and to be honest, I respect your grind. Without the shenanigans, you could be our DC Young Fly. Why did you say you would smack big folk? Then turned around and lost the burnt out championship of the world to Davy Ruffin. I'm not saying you ain't tough, but I'll also say you don't have to be tough to be funny. I'ma kill this Chicago versus DC before it get out of hand. This is just a DC blogger against some Chicago bloggers. Man, tell me what y'all think about this situation. Chicago versus Aunt Glizzy. Yeah, they YouTube streeting. Fantasy Island. Man, stop with the internet game.